ABCDEFGHIJKLMNOPQRS is the definition of 2.1. The style, the gameplay, the transitions, and the crazy amount of objects. This is just about the closest you'll get to 2.1 Mega Collabs. This level is not known for any of the things I just spoke of, however. It is known for its secret ways. I think there's like 3 of them, I'm not even sure. When I was beating this level for this video, I'd forgotten that there was a secret way, or rather secret ways. But today, however, I'd like to talk about the full level today and cover each of the respective parts, so you know what to expect when you play this level, and also how you can make better levels yourself, especially if it's a Mega Collab. The first 2 sections of this level I think are pretty cool, the first 2 collab parts, but after that there's a section that doesn't sit right with me. It's nice glow and all, but with the lines of it fading to like a gray, it just makes everything look very dull and muted, and I don't really like that about it. The next section of the level looks pretty cool in my opinion, but with a flaw of having upwards of 2,000 objects in a very small section. But other than that, it's pretty cool. Obviously some of this gameplay in this level you have to realize it's not going to be the greatest of all time, but still pretty cool. Now this next section is one of my favorite parts of the level. The pinks and the purples, they just complement very nicely together. They're almost like a checkerboard style, very cool. And then we transition into the next section of the level. Now this is where some of my problems start with this level. It's a pretty big problem, and it comes due to the fact that the transitions in this level, you cannot see this gameplay that is coming up. Now I understand why some of this stuff happens. It's because whenever you're making a Mega Collab, you have to separate different people's sections. But if that trades off your gameplay of the level and how the level feels and looks, it's not the right deal to make. So obviously this part is pretty fun. All you have to do is click this first black orb and it basically automatically gets you to the next section where you just have to jump as a robot, which the decoration is pretty cool, but the gameplay I think could be improved in this section. Now we go to a UFO part, which I wouldn't mind if there were invisible speed changes there. The invisible speed changes just makes the level a lot worse to play. It looks like you are supposed to click over the spike, but in fact you're not supposed to click at all. You just click once and then you just get over the spike. Very strange. And then we transition into another weird part. I wouldn't particularly say this part is bad, but the thing that has happened during the building of this level is at some parts, like I was speaking of in one of the other sections, the colors in this section are just very muted. Like you can hardly see them. The glow just makes it very weird. The line colors are an interesting choice. Just makes for a very interesting part. Not one of my favorite parts, but still part of the level. Now this is the part of the level that I honestly really don't mind. It's pretty average 2.1 decoration and gameplay, switching between a lot of gameplay, a lot of different game modes very quickly. But honestly, I think it's pretty nice. The ship part following it is very cool, and I think it's a pretty cool section overall. Now this ship section would be very cool if it wasn't for the ship part following it. It's very awkward. There's so many different objects here. It just looks very cluttered, and it just seems like a little bit object heavy into like a very strange green orb timing into like this weird UFO click. It's not my favorite gameplay, but hey, it's still there. The next part of the level transitions into a very cycle-esque ship section where you're just switching gravities. It's not bad at all, but it's not anything special either. After that though, we transition into my favorite part of the level, this spider section. The gameplay is pretty fun actually compared to the rest of the level. The decoration, the colors, they're just incredible. Just the way that the decoration looks. It's very 2.1-esque, but it brings in a different aspect of 2.1, which makes me very happy. It's actually a cool part of the level. It's probably my favorite, like I said, my favorite part of the level. but after this, it starts to die down as far as good gameplay. After this section, we transition into a very, very strange wave part. Again, those transitions just makes it really, really hard. Technically, you can just spam and just go up, but it doesn't make it a very fun section. It just seemed very random with the lava and the different decoration. It really just is a 2.1 collaboration, no theme or anything. Just decent creators creating some stuff. Then we transition into a very interesting UFO part, which I don't think is inherently bad, but it's not good either. So it's just a part of a level that you just get over. Also, there's some random hitboxes next to some of these structures that just makes it a little bit weird to play, so you have to click some of these clicks a little bit late. Basically, just whenever I was playing, I had some trouble with this section in practice, but whenever you practice it a lot, then I got through it. This next section, yeah, it's just another average 2.1 section. I do like the movements on these blocks though, so that's something to point out. After this, we have a section which I actually think the decoration is pretty cool. I like how those glow beams do connect some of the structures together, and it just overall makes it for a very, very interesting part. Not very hard. Just gonna mention this, that this level is honestly around 8 to 9 star difficulty. It's not easy to demon difficulty. You might actually spend more attempts trying to do some of the frame perfect secret ways than just trying to beat the level normally. It's one of the easy demons actually. And then for the finale, we transition into another one of my least favorite parts of the level. I just think that the glow on these orbs are very saturated. A very easy way to do this, you can just choose a random color channel, set it to blending, and put some glow on top of any orb, and it'll make it look better. And I think this is what the creator was going for, but the way that they did it just makes everything around, even the blocks and the spikes, look very saturated. And I don't personally like that about the level so much, but hey, it's a very short section before the end of the level. So in summary, this level I believe is pretty cool. It's an average 2.1 level, like I said. Some things that creators can take away from this, especially people that are doing mega collabs. If you're trying to have a bunch of different sections that flow into each other, try to figure out how to do something with the transitions, if that is, you know, having some lines to show where the gameplay is going to be whenever the person goes to the next section or something along those lines, because it can become very, very cluttered, especially the harder the levels get, the worse it becomes, and transitions just makes for playing the level just feeling a lot more strange than anything. So yes, I would definitely keep that in mind as you are making your mega collab or just making a cool level in general. My final score for this level will be a 7.5 out of 10. I think it's pretty cool, but there's a lot of things that creators can work on, and I think you can work on them as well. Please like and subscribe to the channel. It would mean a lot to me. I'm a small channel trying to get my feet going and trying to get going as a creator, so it would really help me by subscribing, liking, and even sharing this video does a lot. Thank you. Bye.